Welcome back. Several crypto firms reportedly cautioning that thousands of digital currencies and blockchains are likely to collapse in the coming years, comparing the market to the early dot-com days. Joining me right now is the head of Republic Crypto, Andrew Durgee. Andrew, thanks very much for being here. What is your take on all of this commentary about the crypto market and this potential collapse?
Yeah, great to be here again. Always love being here. Thank you so much for having us. The market is secular, right? And we're going to see down times in the market, and we're going to see up times in the market. And actually, some of the down times in the market is where a lot of the innovation is done. One of the biggest issues in the industry is just a lack of developer talent, because the industry is so new and we're waiting for the developers to come into place. So what actually happens when there is a crypto winter or a downturn is it allows these developers to aggregate into very specific verticals and very specific projects. And that's where we produce some of the best tech. We saw out of one of the downturns in 2014, we saw Ethereum, which everyone is familiar with, come out of that. We saw the downturn of late 2017, 2018, things like Avalanche, Polygon, Algorand come out of that. So I think that we're almost certainly going through one of those cycles now, but this is when we see the space continue to mature.
Well, I mean, look, we know that Coinbase is announcing that it's going to extend its hiring freeze for the foreseeable future and pull some accepted job offers. The Winklevoss twins cryptocurrency exchange Gemini has announced that it will cut 10% of its workforce, saying that the crypto industry is entering, quote, a crypto winter. Andrew, with these job cuts in crypto, is this a signal that things have gotten overheated and we're about to see a serious layoff pace?
I think this is just well in line with what we're seeing in the rest of the markets. I mean, Tesla itself announced today that they're going to have a hiring freeze and they're going to cut jobs by about 10%. You saw this with Klarna recently. You saw this with Exxon. You saw this with Tencent. You saw this with Alibaba. And I think this is just general global market sentiment, not really even specifically crypto. I think this is actually well in line and sees a parallel with traditional markets. So actually, we end up seeing this as just continued maturity of the industry as it starts to fall in line with the rest of the global condition. And I think this relates a lot to what we're seeing just globally out of in the geopolitical space. I think it's what we're seeing coming out of Ukraine and Russia and the long-term effects of that conflict. This is just going to continue to spill over into all areas, I think, of global commerce.
Oh, wow. Andrew, is this an opportunity to look for value here, or do you think we are going to see a further sell-off in cryptocurrencies?
I think there's potentially still some more pain to come. If you believe that there's going to be a further downturn in global markets at all, especially over the next couple of years, maybe until the next election cycle, I think that it's highly probable that the crypto markets will continue to follow suit with some of the traditional markets. For a long time, we were hoping that we were going to see a decoupling of the crypto industry from the traditional markets, but we've seen actually kind of the opposite. As it's grown, it continues to fall more and more in line with the traditional markets overall.
Andrew, thanks very much for weighing in. It's good to see you again. Andrew Durgee joining us this morning. We'll catch up soon, sir. Thanks.